Hi everyone, welcome to Coach's Corner. This week we're going to talk Ponca City High School tennis. It is that time of year. Spring sports are in full go right now. We've got Larry Williams and Brad Larimer in this week to talk about our high school tennis teams. And Larry, of course, is the girls tennis coach. How many years for you now, Coach?
This is just my second year. I assisted 1 year when my sister-in-law, Janie Gallagher, was there, but this is really my second year.
But we kind of associate you with our tennis programs because you've been around it so many years, and I know that a lot of kids you may not have coached during the season, but you do a lot of work with the kids in the off seasons too.
Yeah, we really have 3 seasons, Phil, and one of them is your off season from September the 15th approximately to December the 1st, or maybe a little bit later if the weather's good, and then you have your regular season starting in January, and then we end in May with regionals and state. And then we've got this we've got the summer program where any age, particularly the high schoolers and the junior hires are invited to come and participate several times a week, and we have some evening sessions for them. But this is all ages also. This goes down to 6-year-olds, 8-year-olds. We have specially certified and trained in this new program that the United States Tennis Association has that has shorter courts, softer balls, littler rackets, so the kids learn quicker. So, yeah, and plus my wife and I have been doing this since the 70s or 80s with tournaments and everything else.
You've seen just about everybody that swung a racket through Ponca City. You've seen them, haven't you?
That's true, exactly. There's been a lot of really good boys and girls that have come through here. And I even saw someone I was in high school that came through here, like the Hesses and the Landauers and the Bargers of the world. That goes back a long ways, but I saw them also.
Absolutely. Now, as our girls tennis coach, kind of fill us in as to where we are to this point in the season.
Well, right now we have just started into our second full week of tennis. As far as the girls, last year we had a lot of young ladies that were just starting tennis, literally starting tennis. So we're a little bit more experienced. Our results may not be quite as good. We're very, very sophomore heavy or laden. We have 1 junior, we have 1 freshman, but we have about 10 or 11 sophomores, and that they make up the bulk of the varsity and the JV. And then we have a junior high program that's beginning to come on real well. We finished second in a tournament of 8 here last week with our junior highs, but we're going to be traveling we're going to have a tournament tomorrow here in Ponca City, varsity tournament. Then we've got a varsity tournament in Putnam City at the Oklahoma City Tennis Center on Wednesday, and then a JV exactly the same at the Oklahoma City Tennis Center on Thursday. So it's a busy week, and then we take a week off and then get back into it.
As a coach, I want to talk to you about individuals a little bit, because in tennis you play 6 kids make up your varsity team, a 1 single and a 2 single, and then a 1 doubles team and a 2 doubles team. Is it your thoughts, do you lock that in early, or do you just kind of move them around and at the end of the year put them where you feel most comfortable? How do you as a coach approach that when you're putting your team together?
We move them. Well, we look from January to March. I mean, we're looking in the off season also. We have a good idea of who we're going to play probably on the varsity, but we let that develop about till right now, and then we start solidifying because we've got to go towards regionals. But we're still moving around some of the girls. The number 1 position is kind of a process of each of 3 girls kind of by committee doing things, and then our number 2 girl is right now for the varsities Blair Didlake, you know Blair, and our number 1 doubles team is beginning to solidify Megan Carey and Denise Amaya, and then our number 2 doubles team in reality is probably going to solidify as Sarah Allison and Natalie Baldwin. But we do have 3 girls that we roll around, Sarah's sister Emily Allison, and then we're going to have Hannah Barron and also Elizabeth Martin that will roll kind of into that first position, or if somebody has tests or cheerleader tryouts, etc., etc. So
the situation is you can't take 2 girls late in the season and put them together and expect them to be a good chemistry
right.
on doubles.
Right, that's exactly right. And so we try to solidify it halfway early in the season so that we kind of know what's going on, and they have to play the same girls from an Enid or an Edmund North or a Jinx or a Union or whatever. And so though we are not overly experienced and we're very young, we can gauge some of our success on how we do at the start of the season towards regionals, and if we can gain some progress on some of these
Absolutely,
teams.
and there are so many good girls players around the state. Again, you have to keep in mind where your girls are and some of the competition they play too.
Correct. Oh yeah, and we do have the disadvantage of not being in a larger city. Everything has moved because of the tournaments in the summer to the cities as opposed to the larger cities, not the smaller cities. And that's also where they have the racket clubs and they have the teaching pros and things like that that we really don't have the access to quickly get there in 10 or 15 minutes to a racket club. So a lot of these girls have started when they're 6 or 8 years old in the larger cities like a Tulsa or a Oklahoma City or an Edmond, and then they have got instruction from 8 years old up until now, and they are at racket clubs 3 or 4 times a week. They can go inside. We really can't go inside very much, so weather plays into our situation also.
They specialize too, and a lot of times you get girls that are athletes off of other sports, so, although that might be changing a little bit too. So how's participation? Are you seeing good numbers in our high school and junior high?
Well, we've got 12 or 13 with the high school, which is very, very similar to last year. If we put our total numbers of the junior high together, which would be 8th grade on down, we have about 10 girls in that area. But through the summer program and some other variables and things, we see that building, definitely building. I see some kids or some girls from the West in particular that are coming up, and we're playing 4 8th graders and 2 7th graders actually. One of them from Lutheran School, Ashley Robinson, and then 2 girls from West. We're rolling back and forth. Jenna Wines and Shelby Floyd are going to be playing for the junior high. So there's some other ones on the that are in the summer program and will be playing in the future. And like you say, we do get a crossover like Blair did, like playing volleyball and basketball and things like that. So.
Well, I know one thing. After spring break, you just about play every day, don't you?
We are, yes. We play sometimes 3 or 4 times a week. It may not. We can't play the youth over twice a week because of academics, of course. But we are on the road 2 or 3 times a week ourselves. I have the luck of having a really good assistant, Ken Coates, with me, and Coach Larimer has a really good assistant with him and Ryan Shelton. And I know that Mr. Coates, he obviously travels about half the time, and I travel half the time with the varsity and the JV.
You guys have a job too. You got to teach, so you got those things too.
I think our principals like us to be in the classroom once in a while.
Once in a while. Well, anyway, hey, good luck to you, Larry. I appreciate your time.
I appreciate yourself.
Girls tennis coach here at Ponca City High School as we feature tennis on this week's Coach's Corner.